Someone who needs to start working on something, Ham.
Yeah.
Is our friend Cackling Jack. Press the buttons for us in here. Lovely to have you back, Jack.
Lovely to have you back.
The holiday from holiday.
Good to be back.
Great to have you back. It was a lonely... I'd say now you've been back for how many shows?
Week and a day.
Yep. You've been back for 6. You've been back for 6 shows.
Well, this is the start of the 6th, yeah.
You're about to go into Easter. We started 10 weeks late this year.
Yeah.
Because Ando and I were busy over summer. You famously had that time off as a holiday. Also took then a bonus holiday at the end of that spilled over into work time. The only reason I mention how many holidays you've taken is I assume, and I'd like to bring listeners up to speed here, I assume since you did go off on a holiday from a holiday that your house is finished.
Well, no, it's not.
Because, let's just give people a little bit of backstory here. Towards the end of the year, Jacko, you got your foot on the property ladder. You and your lovely wife bought a place.
Yes.
That I
Place
thought
is better way to describe it than house.
You bought a place. You bought a parcel of Australia, a rectangular parcel that had what can only be described as some sort of former dwelling on it. And we looked at it and we went, "This is charming. Jack's going to do this up."
Yeah.
It obviously needs a bit of work on the inside.
It's listed as a ruin.
It's a ruin. Some think an early tribe of pagan people worshipped there. It has Bronze Age carvings in it. And so, there's a few trinkets left from when the Dutch first hit Australia in the 1600s, but not much since that. So we went, this is great. Jack's going to, we didn't know the inside because he sent everyone a photo. Guys, we bought a house. And we're like, this is great. You didn't tell me this. It began, and you didn't tell Andy this, but it began to filter back through intermediaries that you are not doing up the inside of the house. You're rebuilding it. Like, you gutted it out.
Well, I mean, the idea was we'll get a place that's in need of renovation. Yep. That's how we'll get our foot in the door.
Yes.
And then...
With literally one step up from a blank bit of land.
And then as we started, looking at every part of it, we realized we had to take essentially every part out except the bare bones. So, we pulled the walls off and might as well get the floors up. And then the ceilings came down. And now it's back to the stars and joists.
I went and visited it at the end of the year. It's dirt. Like the floor, it's not like, you're going to do that wall. It's dirt. It's like dirt that hasn't been seen since the 1800s. Like, it's dirt on the floor. Then you look up and you see tiles in the roof. You don't see a roof. You see a few beams and you can see through the roof and tiles. And there's holes in the roof with tarps on them, stuff it's not even a shell. No. It's half a shell of a house. And Jack here's the thing though. Tell everyone what you're doing. Tell everyone all the builders, how many builders you're using to build your house.
Well, I imagine there'll be more eventually, but at the moment it's just me and Bianca and my dad comes and helps sometimes.
What's the timeline?
Now, let's make it very clear. Your dad isn't a builder.
No, he's not a builder. No.
And are you a builder?
I am not a builder.
And Bianca, your wife, is she a builder?
She is not a builder.
She is not a builder. So we're none from 3. Of the 3 people on site, I assume is not a union site.
It's important. It's important to take a big holiday to have a think about how you're going to approach
Jacko,
this studs and joists.
When I was over, you just had the place re-stumped.
And that was about a month or even 2 months ago, and it hasn't really changed too much since the day that you were there.
I said to Jack, I assume you can get professionals in now to do it. And Jack's like, well, not really, because it's all on YouTube. And then Bianca goes, well, we got someone to re-stump the house, like a professional.
Yeah.
And Jack's like, yeah, we didn't even need to because it's, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Jack's quote was, it's just, you just dig a hole and then put stumps in and fill it back up. Jack was annoyed they got someone to re-stump the house instead of doing it themselves.
131060. Are you a builder out there?
Yep.
Call up now and tell us what do you think Jack's missed. What has he missed? He thinks he can do the whole thing himself. Yep.
What do you reckon his estimated timeline here is? As a man with no skills, correction, you did take, what was the course you took?
Concrete benchtop making course.
Yep.
So that's further down the line when we need kitchen bench tops.
So as a man but you've got a ute now, don't you?
That's right, yeah.
Got an aluminium tray ute.
Yep.
Does a guy
ute?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got an old Falcon ute.
What? Yeah. You're out of your Falcon mind.
Yeah.
I can't believe that
Jack Summer was pretty much taking Instagram shots of just in work shorts and Blundstones, slamming beers with his ute in the dusty haze of sunset.
One day,
but no work being done.
One day off to do an anti-commercial radio meme.
All they did was pretty much the veranda. Just because Jack's like, at least it's something. We've done something. So it's just a destroyed house with a new veranda.
13, 10, 60, Ham. What are we asking?
I think we just want people in the building industry to pick Jack's brains a bit here to go, what's your timeline?
Well, yeah, ask him
what do you think you're going to do?
Questions for Jack.
I suppose pressure
builders.
test the plan here. What are we talking? 1 year timeline?
Fair enough. No, it will be longer than 1 year.
Oh, yeah?
No.
The Hamish and Andy Show.
And we have been presented with a topic here at this show that's just so incredible. It's like we've been walking through the desert for 5 days. We're starving. And we get to one of those novelty burger places that makes a 2-kilo burger. We don't even know how to eat it. It's delicious. It's huge. We don't know how to attack it. So we're just going to slam our face into this topic. We know mess is going to go everywhere, but it's going to be fantastic for everyone because Jack bought a house at the end of last year, which is terrific.
House of Generous.
Living the dream. He bought a rectangular piece of land with a
Structure on it.
A house-shaped structure.
Yep.
So that if you squint to the naked eye, it's an imposter, but it could pass as a house. With the plan to redo the inside, but as he began to pick at the thread of that jumper and it unraveled, he realised none of this house can be kept, and he's
pulled up the floors, knocked down the walls, and stripped the ceiling. So
the weatherboards are flapping off on the side. Like Jack, the day you showed me through, forgot the key for the back door, just literally peeled the wall.
Oh, don't tell people that though; they'll sneak in.
What are they going to steal? Your joists? They sneak in and dig up your stumps.
I also need to know where it is, mate.
Look out for people driving around Australia tonight trying all weatherboard houses to see if they're loose and they can sneak in. However, Jack has said, much to the outcry of everyone who hears this plan, Jack said, look, all this stuff's on YouTube. I'm going to build this house myself, which is a romantic idea.
You're not Noah from the Notebook, mate.
It does stink of Notebook a bit, except people that have seen the film know that he got the job done.
Skills.
He got the job done.
I haven't seen the film.
Sammy on 13,
then you should be fine.
Sammy, you're a builder. What do you think Jack might be missing?
Ahoy, boys.
Ahoy, Sammy.
Jack, you're missing a lot of issues. You don't understand the structural capabilities of your own home. Every home is built differently. So you're not going to understand what is load-bearing and the certain stresses that are being put onto your walls. Yep. So you taking walls out and floors and roofs and adding additional walls, YouTube's not going to tell you what size members that you would need to do to support that wall.
Jack?
I actually understand that is an important thing to keep in mind. And we haven't...
to keep in mind!
Oh, that's step one.
Sammy, is that what they teach you when you're doing a building course?
Just be mindful.
Listen, guys, don't come down on you like a ton of bricks here, but keep in mind if the walls can support the roof.
Yep, that's what engineers are for, aren't they, Sammy?
Well, that is what engineers are for, but you can't get guidance from engineers on everything. So generally there is a book, a timber framing code, to start off with, that gives you member sizes and explains how to go about constructing a wall or a load-bearing wall,
That's
roofs
interesting.
or floors.
Have you read the timber bearing code?
We got a few books.
Timber framing, yes.
Timber framing code? Oh, no, Sammy, I know you have. You're a builder. Jack, have you read the timber framing code?
I haven't read that one, but I've read others in that vein.
Name a book you've got.
Yeah, it's called Owner Builder Guide.
Thanks, Sammy. Good. Some good red
thank you.
flags.
Good start. Luke, you're a construction supervisor. Any words of wisdom for Jack?
Yeah, just want to say to Jack, ahoy, boys, for starters.
Ahoy, Lucky.
Just congratulations, Jack, on your
Thanks, man.
half shell of a home. But for starters, mate, to actually get this to be an occupiable home, you need to go through a building survey that's going to have to pass each stage of your home to get it over the line. And dare say, if you're not a qualified trade, they're not going to be able to pass unless it is within the standards.
Yeah. No, I understand there's real steps you have to go through, like let the council know you're building the house and stuff.
That's not what Luke's saying. Luke's not saying, it's not like, hey, we're having a party. We thought we'd give you a heads up. Feel free to swing around for a beer just to get everyone inside. Luke's saying that, you got to, at frame stage, people tick it off and go, right, this is done to spec, so it won't fall down.
Yeah, we'll call him.
Okay,
that guy.
That's easy. Well, that's ticked off then. Josh, you've attempted something like this before. Are you a builder, Josh?
I am a builder, hopefully.
Ahoy, Josh, well, you got one up on Jack.
So you're a builder and you've attempted this.
I have attempted this, and it was it nearly ended in divorce. Not exactly, but it was one of the most hectic things I've ever done. My advice for Jack is I can give you a painter's number, because when you are getting divorced, you're going to need a painter to paint the end of it, just so you can actually settle the house up. Because I have a feeling, even if you do get through the end, have a crack at painting it, tiling it, whatever you do yourself, and it's not going to end well, mate. My advice would be get someone in.
Right, my experience is completely different. We're having a ball at the moment. Like,
Nothing's
it's
been
so
done.
fun.
Nothing's been done, but talking about it's fun.
I know you've had it looks cool hanging out, like it's kind of rustic and a bit hipster, like hanging out in the backyard. Got the dog, having beers, but I mean, a lot of work will have to be done. What do you see as the main 4 stages of building the house?
Floors.
That's a good one. Yep.
Plumbing is important.
Ooh, before or after the floors?
Because there's only an outhouse as well when we bought the house.
Yep.
So we're going to move a toilet inside.
Yep.
So get that toilet in, plumbing, electrical.
Yep. You've got 1 stage left at the moment. You've just got a floor with a dunning and a light switch.
Yeah. And decorating.
And the Block, of course, is a very popular house-based show.
Yes.
Another big one is My House Rules.
Yes.
At the moment, in hiatus, I guess, or whatever, not on, but coming back soon. Heard the promo the other day for My House Rules. And when you get a few seasons into shows like this, you got to re-spice it up.
Yeah, jazz it up. Yeah.
You got to jazz it up a bit. Have a listen. Ando and I would like to play the promo to Jack, actually, because we think it contains something interesting. Because, Jack, you find yourself in a real estate. You think about building a lot.
We're trying to renovate a house.
We know, trying to build a house.
Trying to build a house from scratch.
You're building a house from scratch.
Yeah, it's got the skeleton part.
Yep, that's
It
true.
doesn't actually have any internals, though, does it? So it's walls and a roof.
Yes.
And there's one, having been in the house once, everything's dirt, obviously. So it's dirt, and you look up and there's tiles, but there's sort of the gas line snakes through the house too. So you've got gas, some power, I assume water's under there somewhere. And this is your job at the moment. But the House Rules promo did catch our attention. Give it a whirl.
It's an Australian first. 6 couples, 1 week, a whole new house.
We're building a brand new home.
In 7 days.
Mate, they're building a whole house in 7 days. Now, how long have you had your place?
Yeah, since December.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, where are we at? I mean, you had a long weekend. You had a full
did you use
weekend.
the
You had
long-
Anzac Day.
Did you use the long weekend?
Yeah, we put some windows in.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, we did. No, we did.
So what do you think? I guess put new glass in.
Yeah. We didn't make the windows. Like a guy at the window factory made that.
Yep. And you put them in.
We hinged them in, yeah.
Hinged them.
Yeah.
A non-edible hinge. Jack, I guess we want to
So hang
status
on,
up. I guess we want to status update.
Yeah.
Like
did
how
you
many
put in
rooms?
a new sill and a new opening?
No, sorry. We kept the original frame. We just put in a new sash.
Ah, okay. So yeah,
That was all weekend.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we painted them as well.
Where-
We thought it'd be tricky to paint them as.
But the outside of the house, if I may, is dilapidated. So don't you have to do all the walls and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, we start with the windows, work our way outward.
I guess what Ando and I want is and a lot of listeners are fascinated by this. I've had a lot of people say to me, is Jack really trying to build a whole house off YouTube tutorials? And I've had to say to people, look, it's not a joke. He's really having a go at this. I guess we want a status update. I mean,
how many windows did you put in?
2.
Right.
3 more to come.
So so far since December, 2 windows.
Oh no, we've done like we had to gut it. Or that's what we've been doing.
Yes.
Like when Hamish said it's dirt on the floors, it used to have floors there.
You used to have floors on the floors.
You've gone backwards. You've got to go backwards to go forwards. I get that.
Yeah,
but you've
yeah.
gone backwards as far as you can.
And now
I
we're
think it's-
taking a rest, and then we'll get back into it.
Australia's just excited to see when you'll go forward.
When did you remove the floors?
Yeah, first week. That was the first job we did.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to get the maths on since you gutted it, since it became
Yeah, what have you got
Yeah,
done?
that's true. Because Jez, who works with us, the web geezer, came and saw me pulling up the floors.
Yeah.
And then the next Sunday, I think, like 4 days later, he's like, "You got the floors back on yet?" And that was 4 months ago. And we don't.
Okay, so Jack, you're someone that's involved at the moment in building a whole new house. What would you say to the contestants of My House Rules?
Oh man, this is the thing, and I don't want to ruin TV for everyone, but they got people helping behind the scenes, little magic elves helping when the camera's off.
How do you know that?
No, I just assume that's how it's done.
I mean, if they do, I mean, what do you say to the couples who think they can build a house in a week?
Yeah, fine. It's all for TV. They go they get a bit of footage of them hammering something in, and then the elves come in overnight. I bet that's how it's done.
Oh, this is it. we will do some inquiry.
People that live in unfinished houses should not throw hammers.
We'll do some inquiry. Hamish and Andy.